Hey guys, Analog Man here for another late night deck profile, and as you can see from the thumbnail, we are actually once again looking at Melga. Um, I'm actually basing this build basically this is my spin on the version basically that topped I think twice. There was one that topped in there. Basically, there were two different Melga X tops, so I wanted to like rebuild my own and see what I could do with what I had. Um, Melga isn't really like that honestly sophisticated. Like there are like spicy techs and stuff, but mainly it's very standard. Especially now with the starter deck, we finally have another level 5 that can actually do something basically, allowing us to do multiple checks for once. It's basically just as good as the old promo, honestly, and even has a better effect, honestly, where instead of security plus one, we actually gain the ability to delete a level 4 or lower, which actually kind of helps clear the board a little bit. So I actually kind of like it a little bit more. Also allows us to kind of like swing or discard some cards potentially. The only downside is that you can't like evolve into a Metalgarurumon X because it is purple, and there's a color requirement for it, and you can't really go into that, which really sucks. But that's how it is. Aside from that, the deck is basically the exact same as it was. But yeah, anyway, let's actually get into the deck profile so I can show you what I mean. So, of course, being a Metal Garuru deck, we are, of course, still running the original BT5 Sunomon because the new Sunomon in the starter deck is okay, but it is purple also, but at the same time, it's kind of eh. This is, of course, a blue-based version. I did have a purple version built, but with the recent ban list, as you saw last week, yeah, we decided to go back to the blue base because as of now, the blue base is actually much stronger because it still has all the consistency from before, but we don't have to rely on purple to kind of do our things basically, which is really nice. But yeah, this of course gives the plus 1000 to a Guru or Omni, so we're basically guaranteed to get that on our turn. So we got to run at least 4 of this so we can see that power consistently. For level threes, for rookies, we do run 12. We run 4 of the starter deck 8 one, the one from like the O-Force deck basically. This is a really old Goblimon already, which is really weird saying that because it's only been like a year or two. But it is pretty old, but at the same time, it does give that plus 1000 as long as we have 8 cards, which in this deck, if you're swinging, you're guaranteed to hit that number no matter what. So you got to run at least 4. Then we run 4 of the BT5 Gabumon. These are my AAs finally. I managed to max it out thanks to a friend. Shout out to her. Um, on play, this is basically our searcher. Lets us grab a Garuru and Omni and then place the rest at bottom. So you have to run 4 because, as I said, main searcher. Then we run 4 of the Gabu X from BT9 because it can evolve on top of a Gabumon for 0 and helps us search a bit more and helps us give a little bit more battle protection if we're stacking it and raising. And yeah, that's basically why we run these. As I mentioned, we do run the 12. It feels a little bit more solid to do this rather than change the ratio because with Garurumon, you want to see consistency. And now with Mulligans and all that other stuff, this deck is even way better in that case. But yeah, for level 4s, we of course run the 4 Garurumons. Sadly, I don't have all foil from the new Rising Wind, so I opted to use both arts, so pretty cool. You want to run at least 4 of this because this one, when attacking, you can draw 1. And it's not a once per turn effect, so because this deck unsuspends a few times, you can potentially get multiple draws off this. So I honestly like say you have to run 4 because it is the best Garurumon that you can run in the deck. I know that the new starter deck one is also pretty good because it does draw 1, discard 1, but that's more of a purple base, and we're going more for blue, which is basically drawing as much as possible. Then we run 4 of the Guru X, which gives us battle protection, of course, as long as we have 2 in the stack that we can detach, kind of like Machine Dramon. And then for the last 2, we run the 2 Garurumons from BT5 that when you evolve it on top of anything with Gabumon in the source, you can gain back 1 memory. This also does give plus 1000 to anything with Garuru and Omni, so you want to run that as well for the extra boost. And it's pretty nice. Honestly, just running 2 is already fine. Like, I remember way back, I would see people running 4 of this, but it's okay. I mean, it's decent. I'd rather have the promo, honestly, to set up. But aside from that, that's basically all the level 4s that we run. For level 5s, we don't really run that many. We only run like the standard 8. We run one Wergaroo promo, of course, because this is the best promo. RIP Wergaroo being hit to 1 sucks, but Still one of the best ones. Gets to unsuspend itself, give a security attack +1 if you have 8 or more cards, which you will obviously hit no matter what. Then we run 3 of the new Purple Wear Garuru because it basically does the exact same thing except that you have to discard a card, and of course after the errata it deletes a level 4 when swinging, so pretty cool. Then running 4 Wear Garuru X antibodies because we can evolve it on top of these, and you basically just get to swing and do damage. You can actually swing with this with the X antibody underneath it and then evolve it into this, which will still get the effect off. So actually it's pretty solid either way. If you evolve into this, like hard evolve from swinging, it's still not too bad, honestly. And yeah, that's basically all level 5s we run. As I said, we only run 8, mainly consistency, because that's the name of the game with this deck. For level 6s, we run, of course, the 2 Melga Aces. These are my promo ones that I actually got from BT13, which was pretty cool. I honestly really like that they made it a promo because for those that actually didn't notice this, I'm just letting you know, the promo version, actually, the Metalgarurumon Ace lettering is actually gold, and the foiling is completely different because it's a promo card. While the one that comes in the starter deck is a little bit less foiled, and the letters here are actually silver, so you can actually tell that. Once you see the lettering, you'll know it's either from the starter or from the promo one from BT13, but yeah. You run 3 of this, or 2 of this, because it is one of the best Metalgarurus that have ever been released, because not only can it counter on your opponent's turn, but also the fact is that you can Digivolve it on their turn, which is really busted. That's how Blast Evolution works. And you can pass the turn to yourself. Also, when digivolving, you can trash 3 cards and then for each one you gain a memory. You can only trash up to 3, but that means if they already went down to 1, you can just pass turn to yourself, which is pretty cool. And then when attacking once per turn by trashing 1 card in your hand, you can delete something of the lowest cost. So if your opponent doesn't have anything that has levels, aka Shine, they only have the Shine Greymon, it auto deletes that one no matter what when swinging, because it is the only level, because Marcus does not count as a level, or it has basically no level. It's just a Digimon with a cost. That's it. So you can basically kill their main guy and make it so that they can't push Marcus into security anymore. But yeah, you run 2 of this. Then you run 3 Metalgarurumon X antibodies because this guy is really busted even to this day since BT9. When Digivolving, you unsuspend, gains blocker, and anytime when this guy unsuspends, if it has a Metalgarurumon or X antibody underneath it, it basically bounces something of the lowest cost. And if your opponent only has 1 guy on the board, you bounce that, and they lose the whole stack. So really strong. That's all for the level 6s. We only run 5. For level 7s, we run 3, which is kind of weird, but I kind of like this idea. So, of course, you run the Blitz, because this being a Garuru, OTK deck, you have to run this. Then you run 1 of the Omni X, of course, because it also helps OTK. But this is where this gets spicy. I run 1 Alter B. Alter B is really cool. The fact that you can evolve it on any of the Omnis for only 2 cost, it also de-digivolves and pops the board a little bit. And when swinging, you can like trash a level 6 or lower, and you up to the amount underneath it. For each one, you get to delete a tamer with the lowest cost on your opponent's board. So you could potentially take out hybrid decks really fast, so pretty cool. I feel like this might be a necessity in the future once we hit BT14, because that's when Tommy comes back, and you could potentially just wipe all his tamers, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we run 3 level 7s, 1 of each of these, so pretty solid. I actually kind of like this because there are times where you can actually swing with this and then evolve, and you still have memory, so you can do this and de-digivolve and pop their board, which is pretty cool. So I honestly really like this. The rest are options and tamers, but we honestly don't really run that many. Of course, we're running the 4 memory boost because we do want consistency, as I keep mentioning. Consistency needs memory boost. These might honestly change to the trainings once we get them. I might run 2 and 2 because they can search almost anything. The only downside is that they can't search this Werguru for now until we get to EX05, but that's a different story. Then we run 1 Ice Wall because Ice Wall kind of stops them from doing stuff. Then we run 3 X antibodies. The X antibody is pretty strong because also if it's hidden security, you gain a memory and it gets added to your hand, so pretty solid. Then we run 3 Cool Boys because Cool Boy is still the literal best tamer for both Garuru and Greymon to go off of, because you're going to be evolving or stacking your guy basically to make him stronger. So this actually is redundant and kind of gives you so much power because you get to gain a memory and draw cards. So potentially you can draw into the crucial piece that you need to basically keep going. And then we run one Davis because we do need a memory setter, and this guy does search on play, so pretty cool. If they hit this, you get to set your memory and you get to search a card, so you could potentially set up for the OTK next turn with him. And yeah, that's basically the deck. Melga isn't, it's not really a complicated deck, and it's not really hard to update the blue base because the only thing we were really missing was the promo, and now we have a new card that basically does the same thing. The only downside is that it's purple and it can't evolve into Metal Guru X, but that's fine because most of the time you're just going to be going into this anyway, so it works no matter what. But yeah, that's basically the deck. This is based on two builds, as I mentioned, two that topped. I think one is Thomas Tran, and then the other one, I totally forgot your name. Like whoever that was, I'm sorry, I totally forgot your name. My bad. But shout out to you as well because bringing back Metal Guru is really cool, and I honestly love seeing it. And I wanted to kind of like make kind of my own version, but the builds were honestly almost the exact same to mine because I didn't really change it much from the previous set that I had back in BT12 when I was playing this. I didn't really change it much. I mainly just had like the EX1 where Garuru, and that was about it. The ratios here were basically all the same because I was focusing on consistency. So it's basically the same almost. The only difference is also the artwork, of course, because I don't have fully alt-arted stuff. But yeah, yeah. As usual, let me know what you thought of the build. It's a very standard build. It's Metal Guru. It's not really hard to mess up sometimes. It is it's very hard to mess up, but at the same time, it's very easy to mess up too. It goes both ways. Anyway, as usual, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys next time.